Hello y'all, welcome to the channel. Today I have some really nice reels that are sitting in front of me. I can't wait to share the specs and my personal journey with these two awesome reels. First off, I use these reels for land-based shark fishing, and I'm running a kayak out for baits. I just wanted to do a comparison video. I have the Avet 80 wide, and then I also have the Penn 12-aught. I just want to go off of the specs on this green goblin right here. I call it the green goblin. This is sitting on like a very short rod. And if you guys want to know what the rod is, just comment in the video. I'll share the details with you. And then I have this 12-aught right here, big beast. You know, this is like an 8-foot custom jawbone. But anyways, let's start off with some specs. So right here, I have the 12-aught. This is 29 pounds of pressure on the drag. I actually tested this out myself. My dad got a drag tester, and I think I pulled it to 35 pounds of drag. So I definitely think it could, you know, have like a little bit more drag than what's online. So the mono capacity, 60 pounds is 1,500 yards. 80 pound mono, 1,100 yards. 100 pound mono, that's 875 yards. The braid capacity for this one, it's a 80 pound braid is 4,100 yards. 100 pound, 3,500 yards. 130 is 2,900 yards. So on this bad boy, I have it spooled up with 130 pound braid, and I have probably sitting around 1,500 yards. This is a 150 pound mono on top shot. So the mono, probably I'm sitting like maybe at 500 yards of this mono. So I know that the specs are definitely, you know, a little bit more than what I have, but it definitely gets the job done. And I haven't caught much big shark on this guy. I've been shark fishing a lot. I'm just, you know, maybe like 2 years, and I caught like a 6-footer, no problem. He was a black tip shark, 6-footer, maybe even a spinner shark. It's really hard to tell the difference. But whenever I pulled him in, I mean, he didn't pull anything. It was just, you know, I horsed him in. I think I dropped the bait within the 3rd sandbar, and he didn't pull any drag at all whatsoever. But I know that this guy can definitely hold up its weight. So we're moving on to the specs on this green goblin, the Avet 80 wide EXW. So right here it says that it holds of mono, 80 pound mono, 1,000 yards. 100 pound mono is 810, 130 is 610. The braid capacity is 100 pound braid, which is 3,390. 130 pound braid, 2,330 yards. 200 pound braid is 1,560. And then let's move on to the drag right here. The drag is at strike, it's 50 pounds of drag, and then 57 at full drag, which is plenty enough drag. And then I know the main reason why I'm doing this video in the first place, because I have not seen much videos on the 12-aught. And I know if you're getting into land-based shark fishing, you want to know the differences between this one and that one. I definitely know that if you're getting into it, you're definitely probably going to be looking at either one of these rods, and might as well just know like a side-by-side comparison of them, and also even a personal experience. Like I live here in Texas, and my personal experience with the 12-aught, and it's great for starting out. It runs $400 brand new. The Avet is actually around 800, 850. It kind of varies, you know, some people you could get a deal on it. the prices side by side, you know, this is definitely starter out. This one is more for your serious stuff if you want to drop that money on it. But something definitely cheaper in my personal experience with this 12-aught is just basically the bait, you know, reeling in your bait. Not every single time you're gonna catch anything. I hardly ever catch anything. I live here in Texas, and I run out massive stingrays, small stingrays, cut up stingray on these things, and it sticks really good to the ground. You know, it's not like you're running a mullet or something like that gets taken away very quickly. Stingray is going to be there the entire time, basically, until a shark hits it or until you're done shark fishing and you have to reel it in. And so I just read, hopefully, some of the specs. Hopefully I did a good job on that. But you know, reeling it in with the drag and even the high speed. This one has a low gear ratio, and all that means is whenever you're cranking in, it's pretty much like a crank. On this one, you have a higher gear. Whenever you're reeling in a shark or you're reeling in your bait, you can actually hold this one up on a rod holder and you could run it in. You could literally crank. It's like a cranking system, and you're cranking the bait in way easier versus this one. You literally have to drag the whole thing like this, and you're dragging it the whole way to, you know, from the beach, and then you're having to walk your line in and reel it in, and then you do it again and you walk the whole beach. And that's pretty crazy. And I do it sometimes with this one, but you can set this in a rod holder and just crank, or even a fighting belt. It's going to be a lot easier to crank in a shark. It's going to be a lot easier to crank in your bait, and it's just going to be faster and it's going to be easier. And I think I read the specs, and I think they're kind of almost similar. You know, of course you have your 12-aught. I think it holds a lot more amount of line, but you really don't need it. It pretty much, side by side comparison, this one's definitely bigger and better because of, I guess, just the line capacity and the gear ratios and the speeds. At the end of the day, I mean, EXW 80Y takes the win. But if you're just getting started, I mean, the 12-aught is definitely your best bet. You know, from my personal experience, if you're just getting into shark fishing and you want to try it out, and you're not that much experience with it, my recommendation is doing, you know, a Penn 6-aught, maybe even a 9-aught. But a 6-aught is great for just starting out, running mullet, running a little bit of stingray. It could definitely get the job done easier. But if you're kayaking a bait out to 1,500 yards plus with the bigger stingray, I wouldn't recommend a 12-aught, because it's definitely a lot of work to get your bait back. And even the spider weight glued to the bottom, it's definitely a challenge. But just starting out, you know, if you're into it, you know, you want to do that, you're real excited and you don't mind putting in the extra work, you know, that's totally up to you. But if you buy the 6-aught, if you buy the 80 wide, you're not gonna be upset, you know. So anyways, like, I definitely want to have two setups that I rely on whenever I'm land-based shark fishing. So my goal right now, I'm selling this 12-aught. I'm actually doing this video today because I'm selling it. So I'm gonna get the Avet 80 wide, and I'm gonna go to the 50 wide, the EXW, just to have something with more power that I could run further out. And then the 50 is gonna be for a lot closer and shore stuff. And also, there's been like a lot of people catching, you know, hammerheads, and I feel like you have to bring those in real fast and they die. And I even read recently that the reason why they die is because they stop moving. And the moment that they stop moving, a lot of people think that they fight to the death and their heart explodes. But it kind of makes sense, you know, a shark has to constantly be moving, and in order to, you know, revive him, you know, you get that hook out as fast as you can. Don't even pull him out to the shore and just release him. But even if that is true, if you know, a hammerhead shark, you know, his heart explodes, you definitely want to get him in as quick as possible and release them as quick as possible. But with the 12-aught, that's just gonna, you know, if that's true, the hammerhead's just gonna die. You know, his heart's gonna explode because it's gonna take him maybe twice, if not 4 times, the amount of time that it would be with these side by side, if that makes sense. So anyways, I'm done talking y'all's ear off, but this is the side by side comparison video of these workhorses. I mean, they definitely look a little bit more similar, but this 12-aught definitely is a lot heavier. It's a little bit wider, it's a little bit taller, but side by side they definitely look a lot definitely similar, but you could tell that the Avet 80 wide here is a little bit smaller. It's lighter, you know, but they both, you know, if you want to get the job done with land-based shark fishing, you know, you're not going to be upset either way. But that's just my personal opinion, my personal experience with these 2 reels, and I hope I didn't talk y'all's ear off so much, and I'm just really excited about it. And I just had to make this quick video before I sell this 12-aught side-by-side comparison video. So anyways, thank y'all for checking out the channel. And every time at the end of my video, you know, I'm a Christian, I believe in Jesus, and you know, I have a cool testimony that God has set me free, even from anxiety. I heard a pastor say one time that he said, cast all of your cares and all of your anxieties on the Lord, because he loves you and he cares for you. The moment I heard that, the peace of God, or just the peace, came over me like I've never experienced before in my entire life. And if that's you, if you need prayer for anything, drop a comment. I'd love to pray for you. But if that's you needing peace today, man, just let go and trust God. And I pray, man, that he'll fill you with peace today in this crazy world. I love you guys. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning into the channel. God bless you.